What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Kcards Baseball. Really exciting edition of Kcards Baseball tonight. As you can see on the camera, I do have Trenton with me tonight. We're doing a
How's it
little bit of
going,
a
guys?
podcast. This is our first shot at it. We're just going to kind of see how it goes. The inspiration for this podcast is that Trenton and I probably have, I would say, 3 to 4 conversations a week where him and I just yak on the phone and we talk cards. And I thought, well, it'd be kind of a good idea for us to just do that for the channel and just kind of record it, because the reason why I thought it'd be a good idea is that him and I are completely different type of collectors. Trenton is much more of a buyer and flipper with a very small PC, not very big at all. Whereas I've got boxes and boxes and boxes of cards, where I'm more of a collector as opposed to a guy that's going to flip a lot of cards. I'm trying to get more into the flipping side of it with some of the better pulls that I get. But we'll just have to see. I'm definitely interested in doing more of that. But I thought that this would be good for you guys to get a different contrast and different style, especially for newer collectors that are possibly looking at doing what Trenton is doing as far as flipping cards, buying singles, and that type of thing on eBay or Facebook or whatever type of platform you use to buy your cards. Or if you're interested more in the collecting side of it, where I can contribute some of the things to that. So that is what the motivation is for doing this. We're just going to kind of see how it goes. We don't have any sort of agenda. This is very much a loose type of format. Him and I are just going to be yucking cards back and forth a little bit for probably 20 minutes to a half an hour. And we're just going to kind of see how it goes. And if it's something that is interesting and entertaining for you guys, then it might be something that we continue and possibly do live cast down the road. But we will just have to see down the road if that is something that makes sense for us or not. So, Trenton, I'll just throw it over to you. Tell me a little bit about what you're collecting right now. Why don't you just give me a little bit of backstory, kind of how you got into collecting and what you're interested in and what interested you about the type of collector that you are in particular, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, I've been collecting ever since I was like a little kid. Obviously, growing up with somebody who's really, really into it and had as many cards as what he does, like it would be hard not not to get back in, not to get into it. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, so that was like my original introduction to, you know, collecting, and then it went on for couple years of not collecting, just being a high schooler and all that, and then I think a lot of people got back into it, right around, after COVID, if not like during COVID. For me, it was like 2022. I went over to my mom's house and, found a lot of my old cards, and I kind of realized that, they're worth some money, and then that kind of brought me into, like buying and selling, buying and selling sports cards, because I started watching also like YouTube videos. I'm sure most of you guys know like King of Cards. He's a pretty prominent um person in the, flipping game, and then yeah, I got a lot of like inspiration from him and just kind of realized like, it could be something I could do too. And I will tell you, like, I did start with like, a lot of capital originally, getting back into it. So I went and did things like the wrong way, ripping packs, you know,
No, that's
going,
the right way, Trenton. In my
no,
mind, that's the right
no,
way.
no, ripping packs and just like not understanding, when you walk up to a dealer, like they're gonna be paying, a percentage on underneath comps, and once I like understood that, like,
Uh,
wow, like for me to like actually like make money, I have to buy at like the same percentages as like the dealers. So that kind of brought me into, you know, buying on Facebook and like things like that.
yeah, I think if I remember right, the way this worked, your first two big cards that kind of got you started besides the Heinz Ward, even though he still owned the Heinz Ward.
I do still own the Heinz Ward.
I know. Just for a little backstory, when he was younger, Trenton and I used to go up to Target on Wednesday nights, and I'd buy him a pack of cards or a pack of two of cards, and he kind of enjoyed it. But he was kind of into it, and I wanted him, of course, I wanted to get interested in it. So I bought this set, and in that set had a Heinz Ward rookie card, 1 of 10. It was a collector's edge gold
I actually
set.
have the card sitting in front of me right now if you want me to show it.
Yeah, I'll show it. Go ahead, show it.
This card right here.
There it is. There she is, right there. Yeah, the Heinz Ward, 1998 collector's edge card, 1 of 10. He still owns that card. There it is, the back, 1 of 10, 3 of 10, number 3 of 10. Anyways, I remember when you really got back into it. You bought 2 boxes of cards and you got 2 really big pulls. One was a stained glass Bryce Young rookie, right?
I will
and then
say
the other one was an explosive CJ Stroud.
So I will say, like, I can't personally say like ripping boxes, didn't help me out because like they did give me my start. I did end up in 2023 when Bryce Young and CJ Stroud were like, really, really massive, rookies getting drafted. I went and bought 2 boxes of Mosaic and pulled Bryce Young stained glass rookie. And then like literally a week and a half, 2 weeks later, I was sitting in the Target parking lot actually waiting for my dad to pick me up. And I pulled CJ Stroud explosive rookie. And at the time the explosive was worth like $800 raw. And the Bryce Young was worth like 500 raw. So I sent both of them to PSA, and I ended up getting a 10 on the Bryce and 9 on the CJ. And after that, after I got them back, I ended up selling both of them. Sold the CJ for I think 620 something.
I thought it was like 700.
No, it was like 625. And then I actually traded when Ja Morant was still like,
That's right too.
when he still like was worth like a good amount of money. I ended up trading the Bryce Young straight up for a Ja Morant gold auto out of 2023 Optic, and it was sealed from Panini. Ended up grading that and getting a 10, and ended up when I gemmed it, it was like $1,000 card, and I sold it for like $800, and that's what really. After that was when like I got my start, I would say.
That's pretty much. I think that is very much a story that it was kind of meant to be. Because with how many boxes and how many packs of cards I've opened over the last 2 years since I started this channel, I have yet to pull a card that's worth that much money. I pulled probably 2 or 3 $300 cards.
But even still, like since that pull, I haven't pulled anything close to what those were. Like my luck has been kind of just straight downhill after that. So
it was kind of fate. But you're still living off that original money you made.
I mean that was like genuinely what really got my start, and then honestly what took it to a whole nother level was joining Facebook groups and like learning how to buy it, percentages, and then after that like just went crazy. But
so where are you at now? Where are you at now? What type of goals do you have for the hobby going forward? Out of curiosity.
I mean, for me, my personal goal going forward is just to keep on growing, like I mean, I just hope that the hobby stays stable. And
that's a good point you bring up though, because me as and involved in the hobby as I am, and being on the more of the collecting side, I'm seeing a lot of products sitting on shelves right now, and it's kind of concerning to me whether or not the hobby is taking a turn for the worse, especially now that Fanatics and Tops have taken over, pretty much got a monopoly ever since they got the licensure now for basketball and soon to be football. So I don't know. Is
What I
very
think what I think is happening with retail is a lot of people are starting to realize that like if you are going to join the hobby, that's not the way to do it.
yeah,
And also I feel like tops, especially tops baseball, I feel like it's pretty overprinted. Like they print a lot of the stuff. You know, and you
especially their
know
flagship,
if there's not
especially their flagship product for
right,
sure.
right, like 2025 tops basketball, like that
It's
stuff is
crazy.
starting to sit because like
Yeah,
what's the print run on that? Like, what you know what I mean?
yeah. I don't know, but it's still everywhere. I mean, it's still everywhere. Hanger boxes not so much, but you can still find blasters and mega boxes everywhere. And now we're seeing, I mean, Topps Chrome basketball hanger boxes. They're really hard to find the hanger boxes, but blaster boxes and mega boxes at 80 $85. I mean, I bought a mega box for $85.
Right.
That's crazy, and you get $10 of cards out of it. So it's like, who wants to do that? There isn't anything. Maybe one out of three boxes might be fairly decent, where you get a decent pull. But anyways,
Yeah.
yeah,
But I think like the hobby for in 2026. I hear a lot of people talking about how they can see like a crash coming, but like for me, like I mean, just walk around, like go to shows, look on social media. Like when I see people, when I see like the repackers, like the big sharks, stop buying, that's when I'm gonna get concerned.
yeah,
Like and I feel like if you look at how much like the actual statistics on like how much the hobby is growing year over year. I mean, it's crazy how big it's getting. There's more and more people, coming, more and more money being flooded into the hobby. Like there's only a finite amount of, you know, certain cards. And
yeah.
it's basic economics, supply and demand. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? As the
Yeah,
demand
my biggest
grows
my,
and supply lessens, because there's collectors that a lot of people are looking at it as in almost investments now, so that's the difference is
yeah.
people are really starting to look at, like your Kobe's, your goats in general as like genuine investments for, you know
Yeah, those players will always have a market. Your top tier players and whatever sport it is, I don't really care what's soccer even. Your top tier players, there'll always be a market for Lionel Messi or Yemeni Lamal.
for
Those
sure.
guys will always have and Shohei in baseball, Aaron Judge in baseball, and even any Hall of Famer. Going back to Mickey Mantle cards will never ever ever go
No,
down in price. They won't. And
no.
any of those goats, any of those Willie Mays and Hank Aaron's and
Right,
even Harmon Killebrews, they will always go up in price. I
right,
mean, I look back to when I bought my Harmon Killebrew rookie card for $70, and now that card is worth 800. Just because of the way the market, and that will always be a market for it. And there's much more volatility when it comes to the newer players in the game. But even I mean, I mean, that brings up a good point. What are you collecting right now? What are you primarily collecting? What players? What sports? What are you looking at right
right
now?
now right now I'm actually, you know sports cards is all timing, unless it's even, I mean, even like retired goats too. Like when football is over, basketball gets really hot.
Yeah,
Basketball prices go through the roof. You know, same thing for baseball. Like when basketball ends and spring training's coming up, like baseball goes crazy.
yeah,
And sports cards is all timing. So like right now, right now I'm really focusing on buying like, big name baseball players, and always buying the goats because like you can never go wrong,
Yeah.
whether that be, for me, I'm a Minnesota guy. Like my goat, my PC is Kevin Garnett. So like I love buying KG cards always. But like your Currys, your LeBrons, your Brady's, like
Yeah.
I'm always buying those. And actually something I am buying that I think that I should bring up because like it's hard not to bring up right now with how on fire it is One Piece TCG. I don't know if you've heard about that.
I don't never. I don't know hardly anything about
Right.
TCG at all.
So One Piece is like an
What's a
anime.
One Piece? Oh,
One Piece is
what
an anime that's been around. The anime's been around forever, but they just came out at like a TCG a couple years ago.
is that like different than the Pokemon stuff?
Yeah, it's a different card game, and
Okay.
it's basically like having the opportunity to buy the Pokemon Grails when they first come out. Because One Piece has only been out for 4 years. So all like the big hits, the Grails, so to say, that are out right now are all the like pretty much first edition Grails, you know. So like for example, like I bought this the other day. Like
Oh God.
I think
What? Showed up to the camera. I can't. What is that?
so Nami, she's like one of like the heroes, you know, in the anime, and that's called like a rare, which is like pretty much like the case hits or like the super short prints of the One Piece,
You couldn't have
of
paid
of
more
the
than ten
product.
dollars for that card.
No, you're gonna cringe when you realize how much I paid.
Oh God. Don't tell me. Is it over 500?
$460,
Oh,
and it's worth 700.
oh yeah.
But
It's worth.
but it's but it's going but the statistics back it up because literally One Piece has grown almost two, three
What
hundred
grade is that? What PSA grade is that?
ten PSA
Oh,
10.
ah,
So One Piece is growing like I think it's growing. Don't quote me on this. Like 150 to 200% this year.
okay.
So
I've
that's
never heard
like
of it.
that's one of the things like I'm buying on
Is
like
it a
the low
retail
key.
product or what is it?
I mean, it's a real retail product. You can buy it at Target. You can buy it at Walmart. It's like any other card game, TCG game.
And it's
Like
called One Piece.
it's called One Piece.
I've never
And
seen a One Piece
it's
anything at any Target.
I'm sure some of your viewers know about it. But
Okay.
yeah, it's something I'm like low key collecting, like not necessarily collecting, but investing in for um for the short term. Like I would say, like I want to hold these for like max a year just to see what happens. And I'm
Yeah.
not gonna invest like a major, part of my capital into it, but like I want to invest like at least like 10-15% into it just to like see what happens, you know? And the other thing that like big thing that I'm collecting right now is soccer because the World Cup is coming up
Yeah.
and
I know
we
about
all know
some.
like soccer, the World Cup being in, United
Here.
States this year, like it's just there's gonna be a lot of buzz around it, and
Yeah.
we know how, like the Olympics, for example, like if you look at basketball prices, you look at, hockey prices, you look at any golf prices, like any of those major events happen, like, the card market reflects that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I really do.
So,
I really do know what you mean. Especially like that brings up a
like,
good point because yeah, soccer will be. I mean, it's just going to be so massive this year, and a lot of,
right,
I think, especially with it being here, a lot of
right,
names. Yeah, I mean, you ask anybody on the street who Yemeni Lamal is, or Jude Billingham, I think is his
right.
name.
Yeah,
You don't know him now, but in 5 months when the World Cup's going on,
right.
they'll be the
Oh,
hottest player.
oh,
Everybody will be talking about it the whole time.
it's gonna be massive.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I think
the last World
that
Cup when look at the last World Cup when no one ever heard of Mbappe, and now everybody knows who
right. Well, and
Kylian
you can even,
Mbappe is.
like I said, like I brought up the Olympics. If you look at curry prices before and after the last 2024 Olympics,
Yeah,
it's exponentially different.
yeah,
Like, granted, he played out of his mind. It was crazy moment in sports
yeah,
history.
yeah,
But like the point is, like, any one of those major like worldwide events happens, like the card market reflects that.
yeah.
You know.
Okay.
So I think that collectors, if you're looking to for things to invest in, looking for things that are going to be hot right now at this very moment, look at, you know, soccer for sure, baseball coming up. And I mean, if you want to, I'm not telling you to, but I would invest, just a small little portion into One Piece. Like
Okay.
I'm
Let's
telling
look
you,
for
like
it. You got
you
me
guys are gonna
intrigued.
look. Mark my words, like you guys are gonna look at, this video now and really regret it, because it's gonna be like a major thing in the next, I would say, year or so.
Okay, I'll keep
And
an eye
you
out for it because that's interesting. That's interesting.
and I only found out about this in the last like month or so, because I watched this video. Honestly, I don't know if you know who Chasing Cardboard is on YouTube.
Yes, yes. I
This
follow him.
guy sold his like $150,000 sports card collection, invested it all in the One Piece.
Really?
He went all in, and
Wow.
he's up, and there's there's an Instagram account. I couldn't tell you what it is, but they track his One Piece portfolio, and he's up tens and of thousands of dollars, tens of
Interesting.
thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe it's
it's
just because I don't understand it, so it'd be have to be
well, I
something
don't.
I'm.
Well, the thing is you don't have to really understand it. Like I don't watch the anime. I don't. I my my dad knows. Like it's not my realm at
No,
all.
not at all. Nope.
But like
No.
I think that for me to invest like $1,000 into it and see what happens, it's not a bad idea with how scorching hot and how much upside there is with
Yeah.
it.
It's definitely interesting. I've always. It's one of those things like Bitcoin for me. But everybody, and you talked to me a bunch of times about Bitcoin that I should
Yeah.
invest.
You
But
know
I've
I'm a
always
big
been one of
stock
those
guy
guys.
too.
If I've always been one of those guys that has trouble investing money in something that I don't understand. So
Yeah.
if I'm going to spend money on anything or invest money into anything, I have to be able to understand it
And
and
that's
understand it before I buy into it for sure. So yeah, I
and
don't know.
that's understandable for sure.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
sure. I
yeah.
get it. But
That's just the
like
old man in me, though.
I'm also a guy that like I'm a gambling man, like
I know. I know
if
you're
you're in
a
the
gambling
hot
man. Believe me, I know you're a gambling man.
if you're in the hobby, you're a gambling man.
Yeah, that's true. I
If
mean, I'm
you're in the
probably the
hobby.
biggest gambler in the world, but it's how much
This
money I
hobby
spend on.
this hobby is ran on degenerates.
That's true. That is very true. All right. Another topic for you before we wrap all this up because we're already at almost a half an hour.
Well,
Believe it or not,
we got
we got kind of rambling on a little bit.
we got
Anyways,
time to talk.
as we talked before the little prep time before we started this recording, there's three second-year quarterbacks that are currently playing, and two of them actually won this past weekend with Caleb Williams and Drake Maye, and now you got Bo Nix looking to play next week. Which one of those? And maybe you can even throw Jane Daniels in there, whether or not he might be a person that is
Are you
worth
gonna
it.
talk about JJ or Penix?
No, I'm not going to talk about JJ because he hasn't earned the cred yet to be in that realm with those players. He does. He's not. He
No,
hasn't won any. He hasn't won anything
no,
yet. These guys have
no.
all won something and gotten to the playoffs,
Yeah.
right? And Jaden Daniels getting to the NFC Championship game last year, was that really
Right.
drove up his market quite a bit. So, of those three quarterbacks, which one do you think is worth spending, worth investing in? And which one do you think is worth that you'd be very cautious about investing in? And which one has the best long term projections? Do you think, based on the team they play for, based on all the different types of factors?
So, first of all, I think Bo Nix is a fraud. I think that he is just in a good system with Sean Payton,
I'm
and
not a
his
Sean Payton
defense
fan at all, but anyways,
and he but you can't lie, like he's a good coach. I mean, he's
well,
a
look what he
winning
did for Drew
coach.
Brees, though. Look what he did for Drew Brees.
The point is he's in a
Yeah.
the Bo Nix is in a great system.
Yes.
He his defense is incredible.
Yes.
And to be honest, I don't think that. I mean, you put Bo Nix on the Browns. How much better will he make that team? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I mean, even
Yeah. I don't think that. Yeah, that brings
even
up a good point. I don't think that he would have. I would think he would be the same as every other Browns quarterback that's come along. That
yeah,
really,
pretty
that every other
much,
Browns quarterback that they've invested in, they don't
pretty
have the right
much.
system. Yeah, it's all
I
about the
mean,
system.
like I will say, and I hate to say it, I think that Caleb Williams is the best out of all of them. I hate to say
Better than
it.
Drake May.
Better than Drake May. Off of
Yeah.
upside, talent wise, Caleb can throw and he can run. And he
Yes.
can escape the pocket. Not like I mean, if you watch Drake May last night, or I don't know when this is gonna be posted, but if you watched him last playoff game, I mean the guy fumbled 2 times off of 2 pocket
Yes.
pressures.
Yes.
I mean the guy has no pocket presence. He has no awareness. He don't get me wrong, he can sling the ball down the field. He has great dead eye accuracy, and that might just be the rookie in him that just needs experience, but I need to see that develop more for me to put him on the same level as, or even to call him an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
Because even like Vrabel and that Patriots defense and that Patriots, I mean, even their old line is like crazy good. Like
Yes.
it's just a
Probably the
really
best
good
offensive
team.
line in football for sure.
He's a he. I put him in the same category as Bo Nix. He's an okay quarterback that needs development in a great system. Is
Yeah.
what is what I think. I think Caleb Williams from last year to this year has shown way more improvement than Bo Nix or Jaden Daniels. I mean, I can't say that about Jaden Daniels because he did get hurt. He got beat up this year. I can't really give him a fair
Yes.
evaluation on this year. He was
Right.
hurt pretty much all year.
Yep.
But um Caleb to me is the only one that I can like actually like call somewhat of an elite quarterback that has a crazy amount of talent and upside.
Yep. You're
And I
starting to
hate
feel.
and I hate saying that because I'm a Vikings fan. Hate
Yeah.
hate saying that. Hate to say that I have to see the Bears be good for the next couple of years. At least until they you know as long as they have their head coach. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Well, what I would say about it, the way I thought about it, Trenton, is that the other night when Bears and the Packers were playing, and at halftime the Bears are down 21-3. You put Drake May in that position and Bo Nix in that position, would they been able to bring the team back to win the game at the end of the final whistle like Caleb Williams did? I don't think that they could.
I
But
couldn't. I can't say. I can't say that Caleb does still have an attitude problem.
he does.
Really bad.
He does.
Really, really bad attitude problem. If he fixes that, he will be great. And he's gotten a lot better this year. But his rookie season, he was kind of just a diva on the field. When he
Yeah.
wasn't playing well, it was like he was just a little crybaby, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
I can't say that Caleb that I I don't know. I'm not gonna say it was a one-off situation, but I can't say that like I've seen enough for Caleb to do that consistently. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like
Well, one thing they brought up in the broadcast, the Bears broadcast the other day, that kind of gave me a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel for JJ is that his first year he was fastball after fastball after didn't have a lot of touch on his passes, where he really worked in the offseason, developed that this year, and that's why they had probably the biggest turnaround this year, is because he learned how to actually change his throw from depending upon the type of throw that he had to make, whether it was throwing over defenders or whether it was trying to fire one in there or whatever. So I think that that's I think the biggest area that JJ needs to work on going into next year is working on developing a little bit of touch on his passes for sure.
JJ's got to figure out.
I don't
He's
want
got
this
to.
to turn into Vikings talk though.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna complain about the Vikings on here.
No. Anyways, the final topic we're going to talk about before we wrap all this up is that with Tops taking over the licensure now of basketball and soon to be football, they're basically going to be I hate to say it, only significant card company that's out there. So, I mean, obviously Upper Deck still does hockey, but they're going to be the major producer of cards going forward. So how would you compare now that basketball has been out, both the flagship basketball product as well as the Chrome product that is currently out now? How would you compare it to Panini? Because I know you're kind of a Panini guy. You kind of grew up on Panini, and that's all you bought was Optic and Mosaic and
Yeah.
Select and everything else.
So I don't think that Tops will ever be able to replicate what Panini did with the inserts. You know,
Yes.
I
I
mean,
mean, you're talking
Panini
about
will all
their kabooms and their
right
downtown
color blasts. I mean, Panini will
color
always
black.
be on top as
Yeah.
far as that, as their inserts, as far as like honestly, like um the way that a lot of the cards look. But what I think is going to happen with Tops is like the demand for autos is going to just their emphasis is going to be on autographs, is what I'm trying to say. You
On
know,
what? I'm sorry.
they're trying to shift the focus of the hobby right now, which is like when you go to a card show, everybody wants a downtown, everybody wants a kaboom, everybody
Yeah.
wants a color blast.
Yes.
I think that Tops is trying to shift that over towards a focus on like autographs and like patch cards. And that's what I think is what we're gonna get from Tops, is a lot more, focus on that rather than, you know, them coming up with a cool insert. Tops does have cool cases, they have cool inserts, but like it's not gonna be anything like a Kaboom or a Downtown.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a little bit different market. I mean, you pull a superfractor of anybody, or
But
like
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be more of an emphasis on
the number
numbered
cards.
cards
Yes.
and autographs. What the hobby originally was.
Yeah.
Panini kind of shifted the focus over to like the cool. You're chasing that manga. You're chasing that
Yeah.
that color blast. You're chasing that stained glass. You're chasing, that's what the chases were in your blasters in your mega box. It wasn't an autograph. It wasn't a patch card. It wasn't any of that. You know.
Yeah. 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 It'll be interesting. That's a good point, because it'll be interesting to see what happens, because I think that Tops really does need to look at that and develop inserts that would bring people to the hobby. Right now, I mean, I can only equate it to baseball, but I do think that the biggest inserts they have in baseball right now are golden mirrors. They have the HFA's home field advantage, but even the home field advantage, which is kind of Top's version of the downtown cards, the
Oh,
value is so significantly different. I mean, a home field advantage card of a decent player like a Bobby Witt that I pulled was a $50 card, whereas if that was a Panini product, you're looking at 300 to 400, just because the print run is probably more significant on the HFA's. But they're cool cards. I mean, they're probably my favorite insert. But I mean, golden mirrors can go for $300-400 if you get
mhm.
a decent golden mirror card of
Well,
Shohei or.
even for basketball, like I think the All Kings are really, really cool. They
Yeah,
have that in the flagship product. I
yeah,
think the Helixes are cool, which is kind of like
yeah,
their version of the Color
yeah.
Blast.
That's the Chrome. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Chrome, and the
Um,
exposes. The exposes are really, really ones. I think that if they bring like crystallized into Chrome, that would be interesting because the crystallized are really, really cool cards. That's like a Well, I mean, that's very similar to what a collar blast would be, and is a high end. That's a high end insert. You're looking at $800 to $1,000 for an insert of that. But I'd be very
yeah.
curious if they move that over into um, over into basketball and football in particular. I mean, they could adapt home field advantage into basketball and just call it rather than call it home field advantage, they call it home court advantage, and they could do home field advantage cards for football. So it'd be very interesting if they move some of the inserts from baseball over to into the
Yeah.
basketball and football product. But you're right. I
Like I
think
said,
that but you're right. I mean, I don't know if they'll ever be able to match the popularity of the kabooms and the downtowns and even the uptowns. I mean, those ones will always be pretty iconic inserts in the hobby for sure.
I think that those will continue to go up in value.
Yeah.
You know, I
You
think
think
that
that he
well,
will still continue to produce those though for basketball? I
the
mean,
ones that aren't 2024 basketball ones will continue to go up in value because those are hard to pull.
yeah,
But football 2024 and like maybe 2023, like 2025 too, I would say. Those are, I mean, they're so easy to pull compared to like you go back to, 2018, 2020, like
yeah,
you're maybe pulling one in every like two cases. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
And you hope to get a rookie or a decent player.
right.
That's why even if you look at the pop counts, like the pop count on like a 2024 Travis Kelsey downtown compared to like a 2022 or 2021 is like completely different. Not even in the same ballpark. So I think that if you are smart with them and you buy them, the right way, if you're looking at them as like an investment,
Yeah,
as long as you buy like the older ones, the ones that are harder to get of like solid names, those ones would be solid ones to buy. But
yeah,
like I said, like I think the with Topps taking over, the focus is you can even see in like their marketing, they're more marketing, you're chasing the autos. You're not chasing the case hits,
yeah,
like they're
yeah.
and you and I mean
Especially the numbered
you can
autos. If you got a low numbered auto,
right,
yeah,
right. I mean look at what like a Cooper flag
yes.
case hit compared to like
Did you see Pac-Man pull
like
that
a
one the other
silver
night?
like a refractor Cooper flag auto does.
Yeah,
Compare the two. It's like crazy
yeah.
difference.
Did you see Pac-Man pull that one the other night?
No, I didn't.
The Cooper Flag 101 auto. It was a super fractor auto. Over
Ridiculous.
worth the value of it's worth over 100,000.
It's
It's
ridiculous.
really cool. You should go. It's up on his YouTube channel. It's pretty cool to see him pull that card.
It's insane.
Well, anyways, Trenton, I think that anything else you want to say about that, or
Not really.
okay? I think
Um,
that's good points. We'll be definitely continuing that discussion and further channels, especially as we get closer to football coming out, because I'm very curious to see what the Topps football product when that comes out in April, what that's going to look like. They're going to release that right around the draft to maximize the profitability or maximize the sales. So it'll be very interesting to see what that looks like once they put that out. But the only thing that's going to work against Topps a little bit with football product, I think, is that this draft class is going to be pretty weak. There isn't any big name
yeah.
quarterback that's coming out, so
Other than
the rookie
Mendoza,
cards aren't going to be that great.
do you think Mendoza declare, won't
Yeah.
he?
I don't know if he declared. I don't know if he's going to go back or not, back to Indiana or not. There was some big time quarterback that committed to staying where they were. Oh, it was the kid from Old Miss. He's going to
Oh,
stay around for another year, but I think he needed to. I think he needed to because this was really the first year he really played. He could really up his market going into next year. Anyways, Trent, I'll wrap it up with this. Well, how was the card show this past weekend? I forgot to ask you.
it was good. Bought about 5K in inventory, and I ended up selling a good amount, so I can't
Did you?
complain.
What'd you sell? What was the big sell?
God, now you're making me think. I sold T-Law, Rookie Select, PSA 9, field level, like number to 49
Oh,
for
nice.
220. I sold, breaks my heart, I sold my KG refractor on accident.
Did you on accident? How do you sell a card on accident? Not as 2 or 3.
No, I don't know if you ever saw my 2002 Topps Chrome white refractor to 249
I think you sent me a
BGS9.
picture of it. I don't remember if you sent me.
I
How do you
set it
sell it on
out.
accident?
I set it out in my showcase for eye candy, and I forgot that there was a $90 sticker on it. And the guy said I'll give you $90 for it right now. And I was like,
You can just say it was mislabeled. How much did
I
you lose
could
on it?
I didn't lose, but
Oh,
like I paid $75 for it. But like
yeah. I'm surprised you haven't made an offer on my Topps Finest KG rookie.
I
Yeah,
actually bought one.
PSA 9. Did you?
Well, I still want yours, but I
You haven't
bought
made
one
an offer. Oh, there it is right there. Yeah, raw. Yeah,
for $10.
yeah. Well, thanks, Trenton. Thanks for joining me here. I think we had some pretty good discussion. Hopefully, you guys really enjoyed it and find it entertaining. If any of you guys would like to let us know what kind of topics you want to see us discuss on these types of podcasts, definitely throw a comment down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys liked about this, what you guys didn't like about it. I know we got off topic and we discussed many different topics, so I know we were a little bit kind of all over the place a little bit, but it's a father and son having a usual, just everyday yak. So that's just generally what you're going to get in this particular podcast. But, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you are new to the channel, definitely hit that like and subscribe. If you like this type of content, let me know and hit that like and subscribe. Turn on the bell for notifications. Would appreciate that. And thanks to all my OG subscribers for your continued support of everything that we do here on the Kcards channel. Be safe out there, guys, and happy collecting. We'll talk to you guys down the road with more great podcasts for me and Trenton. We'll just have to see. But thanks. We'll talk to you guys later.